Even a man who is pure of heart and says his prayers at night may become a wolf when the wolfbane blooms and the moon is full and bright. Hello everyone and welcome back to Comic Beyond Dark Tales. In this episode we're going to be covering Marvel Spotlight number 2, Werewolf by Night. So our story starts off, Jack Russell's already in wolf form, and he's been attacked by a mugger, so he ends up taking down his mugger, and then the cops come and start shooting at him, and he runs off. Just for Jack to actually wake up in bed the next morning, and it's almost like he had one of those dreams that you dream where you wake up and it just feels so real, like whatever you dreamed really happened to you. So he's conflicted as he just wakes up because he can't remember, like, was it a dream? Did it really happen? And so it's kind of like, starts off like a mystery at first. And he gets a knock on his bedroom door. His mom comes in. And then it's his birthday. And she lets him know she made a birthday breakfast. So he tells her he'll be right downstairs. Well, instead of staying home, he decides he's going to go off with friends for his birthday. Well, he's at a party that his friends are throwing him. And while at the party, he ends up transforming into his wolf form. And so he's trying to get out of there before he fully transforms so nobody sees him. So he sneaks out and he's trying to make his way back home. And as he's going, he sees a guy messing with his mom's car. And so he's still in his wolf form. So what I took from the story is when Jack's in his wolf form, he still has his thoughts, but he's not really in control of himself. It's almost like the wolf form takes over. So he's not really sure who that man is or anything like that. He recognizes him, that's about it. But he makes his way off and he finds this abandoned house. Well, while he's there, he gets attacked by a small wolf that just happens to be in the house, I guess, or around there. And they get in a tussle. Well, Jack stops the wolf. He defeats him, just for Jack to wake up again like he did the night before, but this time he's woken up in his front yard of his house. So his stepdad comes out, gets him in the house, and explains to Jack, well, while you were out all night, whatever, with your friends, your mother, she's in the hospital in critical condition. She was in a really bad car wreck. Her brakes gave out because she went out looking for you. And so he makes his way to the hospital, and I guess they don't want her to have any visitors, anybody seeing her because she's in critical condition. And so Jack sneaks in anyway, and he sees his mom, and she begins to tell him, like, you don't know everything about your father, and so because he never knew his real father. And so come to find out, when she was in college, she was abroad, so she was overseas. She meets a guy, falls in love with him, and gets pregnant by him, but then she realizes that she's kind of found her way into like this cursed family now, because come to find out, Jack's father was also a werewolf, and one night he turns into a wolf and these town folks go out in the woods and hunt him down and kill him. Well, that's when she comes back to the US and marries Jack's stepfather, and she tries to like just hide these events, from everybody and all that kind of stuff. And Jack never knew up until now that his father, his lineage, he comes from werewolves. And that's why all of a sudden now, I'm assuming on because of his birthday, he's starting to transform. Well, before she dies, he's putting two and two together. The guy that was messing with her car tampered with her brakes, caused the accident, and he believed that the stepfather was behind it. So before she dies, she tells Jack, please don't harm him. Like, don't raise your hand to him. And as Jack's trying to promise her that he's not, she dies. And out of grief and him being upset, he starts to transform into the wolf again. And so as he's transforming, he's making ruckus. Doctors and nurses come into the room, see him. He jumps out the window and immediately goes to the guy who was messing with her car. Well, Jack attacks him, and actually the guy puts up a fight. Like, this guy's actually, even though this is Jack, who's turned now into like a wolf man and has strength, this guy's holding his own and beating the crap out of Jack. And this guy's assuming this is just a kid in a Halloween costume. He doesn't realize that it's a real guy. And so this guy's fighting Jack, and finally Jack gets the upper hand and kills this guy. And then he hears another voice as, come to find out, his stepfather shows up to the same place, this warehouse. And that's when he hears the guy, he's looking for the guy that Jack just killed. Well, he hears his stepdad say, "Hey, I got the money for you." He tells him that his wife had just died or whatever, so now he's going to get her inheritance or insurance money or whatever. And so Jack's hearing all this, and so Jack's hearing it. The werewolf, his werewolf form, don't really comprehend. He just knows he needed to come get this guy for some reason. So the werewolf personality and Jack's personality are kind of like, they're the same guy, but they're on two different thought processes. Like, he has fragmented memory pretty much when he's the werewolf. I don't know if that changes throughout the comics or not, but at least in this issue, that's how it is. So he goes to take out his stepdad for revenge, but as he goes to go after him, he starts remembering the promise that he made his mother that he wouldn't attack him. So his stepfather gets away, and so he gets pretty much away with murder. And then Jack's tormented because the werewolf side of him just knows, like, he has a reason for not doing it, and it's the werewolf side that's like, I can't do it because of this, but I still have the urge to do it. So the book ends where the stepfather gets away with everything, and poor Jack's left with his curse, and then now, the murder of his mother has gotten away. So it's not really a happy ending on this book. This is the origin of Werewolf by Night. That's why I wanted to cover it. But it was a pretty good story. I like the way they did it as far as a werewolf story. Like, not even connecting it to Marvel or Jack Russell, the character, or anything like that. I actually do like it just as a werewolf story, really. But I got interested in Werewolf by Night through the Disney Plus special, Halloween special they did a couple years back. Instantly fell in love with that special. As I've said on the channel before, I love like classic monsters, the Christopher Lee movies, stuff like that. And so it being in tone with those types of monster movies, I just loved it. And it being in black and white, I know they brought out the colored version, but honestly, I think the charm of that show was actually having it in black and white and doing it in the style of all the old B monster movies. So that was my introduction, really, to Jack Russell and Werewolf by Night. So I got a trade that kind of covers some of the Marvel monster characters. That's where I got this issue from. So it's my first time reading actually a Werewolf by Night comic, and what better way for it to be but the origin of Jack Russell. So that's the story. I hope to read more Werewolf by Night titles. I guess if you have the Marvel app, it'll be easier to find them, or trades, stuff like that. But single issues, man, I tell you, collectors pick them up when they see them, because these issues are kind of scarce and they're kind of pricey. But if you can get your hands on Werewolf by Night comics, they seem like they're going to be like fun, just monster comics and like werewolf type stories. At least I hope so, as I try to read more of them. But that's this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this piques your interest to reading maybe Werewolf by Night comics. And definitely, if you haven't, check out the Disney Plus show before you even want to try the book. just like test the waters with that show. And they're bringing out a new ongoing Werewolf by Night series just like last month. I haven't checked it out yet, but it is out. So I'll probably check that out. But yeah, there's a ton of Werewolf by Night stuff you can kind of get into: comics, the movies, the new series, stuff like that. So give it a check. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.